And today we have Dante Must Die versus Thorus. I don't know much about either of them. Although doesn't Dante do any percent?
He has done any percent, and he participated in last year's tournament.
Yeah.
And nope. Okay, scene just changed twice again. But we are off.
Yeah.
So the first trick both runners are going to be going for is known as space jump first. It's not in logic, but it's arguably the most important trick to be able to do in the run
And we have
if you're going to be
missiles.
doing races. And missile is one of the best items you can hope to get starting out because it gets you immediate access to your hints as well as
Ruined Shrine.
Ruined Shrine and Root Cave. Though
And
Dante
the
does not
missile
seem to
wall.
have checked what is behind his ship, that might come back to bite him if he doesn't remember to check it.
Yeah. There's also the missile wall and Ruined Nursery, I believe. So it opens up
And it
more depth.
guarantees that you'll be able to get behind the Hive Totem to be able to see what is in the vault.
It's a lot better than getting your first missile at Hive Mecca,
Definitely.
which will make you have to backtrack to get your hands.
Dante saying hi to everyone in chat.
Let's see. The item we have here is
It's a visor. Thermal visor. An interesting first item because it doesn't really open up much of anything until we are in Fendrana or have the Wave Beam.
Yeah. On the bright side, it will speed up the Essence fight.
Definitely.
Final boss.
Or at least make it more consistent. So something that everyone's going to notice is that most runners are going to scan all of the hints but not read them when they're scanning them. And that's mostly just because it's faster and more convenient.
Yeah,
Some runners will read it just as they're leaving the the artifact temple, but other runners like to wait until later so that they aren't trying to take it too much into account until they actually have the they're likely to need to be able to collect the artifact.
Right.
And let's hope not plasma on Thardus again. Or bombs on Thardus again.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of bombs on Thardus. I just got that this morning. After watching the first race last night, and they just kind of instilled an instinct to go for Thardus.
I'm definitely hoping that there are no bombs on Thardus during my race later today.
Morph Ball.
Morph Ball is definitely a useful item. It could allow Dante to go check behind that ship because it could be something important. It's just a missile though, as we can see from Thorus' side.
Big deal.
So at least we don't have to worry about it being Phazon or something. I remember a race from, I think it was a community race from a while ago, where someone lost because they had forgotten to check behind their Phazon suit.
Sounds like it might have been me this once. Although it would be nice to have an artifact there. Get it on your way out.
Yeah. And it makes it easy to route in at almost any point, even as your very last artifact.
Oh, and you may notice Dante has fusion suit on.
Which means he is a man of culture.
Yeah, but it also means you'll be grossed out when he gets buried. Because it looks like vomit.
Though there's a chance you'll never see that, depending on how we find our suits.
True. The bombs? Power bomb.
Power bomb. Which is still potentially going to give us our bombs right next door.
Yeah, it isn't logic to use power bombs.
But no, that's an ice beam. Dante not opting to go for the couple of jumps on the vines along the right side of the room, seeing as he does have Morph Ball and collecting the item on the pedestal does remove the invisible wall blocking that Morph Ball tunnel off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that does mean we're going to be hearing this music for the foreseeable future.
Is this way faster if you fail the
That
jump
is a
thing?
suit, and that is a gravity suit, I believe. And it's that space jump on the vault ledge.
Okay. Is triggering the cutscene faster if you fail the other way?
If you fail the other way, yes. If you hit all the jumps, then it is faster to just do the jumps. Oh, and the music shut off. That's surprising. And I think that's either Flamethrower or Wave Buster on that ledge. Let's see what's down here. Just another missile. Dante not opting to go for it. Okay, it was Wave Buster. Thank you, Alniad.
I would have refilled at that crate if I were him. Oh, but he made it.
The one unfortunate thing about the commentary stream is the resolution is not the hottest, so we will have a slightly harder time recognizing what items are what.
Unless you're Nix.
Yeah, who just has a very solid resolution that for some reason actually plays well with the commentary stream. And it looks like Thorus might have failed to skip the setting off the fight before grabbing the item, and now he's going to be actually fighting the beetles, which is going to take a minute, fortunately. Just a missile and vault, so we don't have to wait through the whole process of opening that up and watching the cutscene. And no, that was just a missile. Alright. Dante is going to show us a neat little dash here that saves you a bit of time going around the room. It's harder than it looks, but it's also not very hard as far as dashes go, as long as you actually know where to stand.
Yeah, and you'll just land ever so slightly. That space jump? It looked like space jump.
I believe that was another visor.
Oh, okay. Didn't go for the arch, huh? Maybe he doesn't know that.
Well, our jumps are a bit difficult when you don't have space jump.
Yeah. Well, I did recently discover the way to get out and miss it. Which was, actually, I saw you do it. Well, no, I saw Reggie do it. And I was impressed. Here we are.
Just a missile here, not entirely unexpected.
Got 3 more checks, though.
Including the underwater item down here, which hopefully won't be anything because nobody likes when it's anything because it's a very sketchy underwater slope jump.
Possibly 4 checks of spiders here or the next side.
However, that appears to be just a missile.
No, I'm grabbing that trick. Well, for upper dynamo. Maybe not the underwater item, if you can make it. You
Space
just
jump does
barely
make getting the underwater item easier.
Yeah, you can just
Possible to
barely
do
make
it without space jump, but not recommended.
He's gonna refill. Yeah. Nah, he's not bothered. Probably doesn't want to risk it without any E-tanks. You can just barely make it without an E-tank, but it's kind of tight. You have to get it right, probably the first or second time.
And unfortunately, Thorus having to fight the Hive Mecha.
Oh, did he miss the dash?
He missed dash 2 or 3 times, and then I think he just decided to fight it, though I'm not entirely certain. Something that will be seen decently often in the first round or two of the tournament is less experienced runners ending up matched against slightly more experienced runners, just based on the fact that the first round seedings are largely random. And while there is nothing wrong with being a less experienced runner, it does put you at a disadvantage if you're not comfortable with some of the tricks that you're not going to be doing so much in normal gameplay or in any percent. Though many of the what are considered by a lot of people to be almost randomizer specific tricks are actually tricks used in 100% as well. Yeah. And I call it, you do not have to see the good old Varia suit with the fusion model. I'm sorry, you are all missing out on a great treat. Dante is just using some standable terrain to be able to get up to a higher level without needing the boost ball. And, okay, for a second I thought that might have been bombs with the glimpse I got before he went in there, but no, just a missile.
I wonder when our first E-tank will be.
An excellent question. Sometimes we're going to be drowning in E-tank, sometimes we might not see one until the end game.
As far as making me a little nervous right now with that health.
Though, as I do not believe these runners have various Magmor runs enabled, the chance of not getting an E-tank is a bit higher than if you did have it enabled. At least I believe that's how the weighting works out.
I would assume so.
Because by logic, if you're going to do a Variolous Magmor run, you do need to have a certain number of E-tanks to be able to complete it, and it can be made more or less strict depending on what the runners choose.
I think by default the minimum is 5. And
Yeah,
7 if you want to check items along the way.
And then I believe like the minimum that's actually possible is something like 3, and then 5 to check items, something like that.
So crash site is in logic now. With bombs. Makes perfect sense. And he has ice, so he could also climb the crash site if he wanted to and go to Lake Chill Zone, but
he does not seem to be choosing to take that route, which is reasonable because I don't believe it is actually in logic.
oh. You need,
I would have to check that though.
Well, do you need both ice and wave, or just ice if you don't have wave since it's accessible?
No, you just need ice, but I'm just not sure if we have the setting on.
Oh.
Interesting. Dante is choosing to enter back into this direction, which probably means he's going to be checking the upper root cave item.
By the way, I recently discovered, I saw you do a slope jump combined with standable terrain to get up to that platform that Dante's trying to. Was that a recent
You
discovery?
skipped that. No, I figured that out a while ago. I don't know if anyone figured it out before I did, but I figured it out like around the time of the last randomizer tournament when I was seeing that a lot of people were having trouble with the dash.
Yeah, you were the first one I saw do it just last week or something like that. And then one of the runners in the previous match did it. The one that might still be going on. But, yeah,
It's a nice little trick, though. I personally think it's trickier than the dash. It does save you if you are not comfortable with the mechanic.
I actually found it a little bit
It's tricky
easier.
to land on it.
I actually found it a little bit easier. I got it second try.
It's also possible to do it with a R jump, completely ignoring the slope jump, but that's even more particular.
Yeah.
And personally, when I go for it more seriously, I prefer the slope jump plus an R jump because it just gets you the distance a bit more consistently than the L jump.
Mm-hmm. And you may have noticed Dante just did some out of bounds to get the Arbor Chamber item.
Easily the simplest out of bound item check that's actually useful, but it can be quite easy to soft lock yourself if you do not have Morph Ball and bombs, as unless you land on the actual visible terrain, you're not going to be able to move much, if at all, and you'd have to reset if you get stuck on that.
I just recently found out you could dash up there too. I always R jump.
Yeah, the R jump is much easier, but dash can be quicker as long as you get it first or second try. Actually, no, I think it's only faster if it's first try, but most tricks are only fast first try.
Yeah.
Unless they involve skipping like a 20-second long cutscene.
So now we know for sure that's a visor right there.
I want it to actually be Ice Spreader and just roll blind. Thorus resetting?
Interesting. Did anyone in chat see what happened? I was looking at Dante's screen. Wow, Dante heading to Zoid.
Oh, okay. Thorus entered Zoid without bombs. So reset.
Okay. Yeah, and speaking of Zoid, Zoid is one of those bosses that always has something when you don't check it, and does 50% of the time when you do check it. It's a worthy check, even though it's annoying and tedious.
And the least consistent boss fight in the game,
Yeah.
as it's the one with the most uncontrollable RNG.
Yeah, the RNG is basically how long it takes for that red target to power bombs, for the red target to appear, and the way you know you had a good fast fight is if the music doesn't move at all.
No, that's how you know you had an okay boss fight.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll kill him before, like, I don't know, 3/4 of the way.
Yeah. And you know you had a bad boss fight if it does loop.
Yeah.
If it loops more than once, something awful must have happened.
Yeah, he must have missed a shot, or
You must have
got,
missed multiple shots.
or got pinned to the wall by the fire, which can happen sometimes.
Luckily,
And kill you without.
multiple loops doesn't really happen to anyone. Dante also showing off the fact that you can stand on the edge of Zoid and be largely immune to the flamethrowers. Sometimes one will clip you if you didn't stand quite right, but it does largely prevent that from happening and makes the fight a bit less annoying. And even more like an auto-scroller.
Yeah. Now I'm getting a bit of a high fight. Well, yeah. Well, no. Not really.
I know, Thorus, don't enter Zoid again without bombs.
Those toads are immune to power bombs, right?
I've never tried, so I don't know.
Okay. Me neither.
I think Thorus might be a bit confused as to what the logic wants him to do, because the check at Frigate Crash site is not the first thing that comes to most newer runners' minds. It's also possible that he forgot about Gravity Suit, seeing as he does not appear to have collected it yet, which could have also led...
Where was that again?
It's in the half pipe.
Oh. Yeah, the half pipe is surprisingly easy to forget sometimes. I've done that before and remembered it maybe when I was last locationing an item that I should have gotten, 15 minutes in.
Yeah, because lots of people are used to just seeing what's in there very early, and then if you've done a lot of more normal playthroughs of the game or speed runs, you're most likely going to have become accustomed to just getting that item as soon as you see it and not think about it as a thing you might have to pick up later.
Yeah, but now that he's got it, he seems to be going back that way.
Yeah. And it seems like Dante might be taking the hash from this seed seriously with its double spelling of Flagra, and he's heading right towards that good old cutscene bomb.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely shoutouts to Dante's cursor.
Oh, that's what that is. So basically, he's going to shoot that first one to the mill away because you have to, and then he's going to space jump to the rest of the bomb slots, which are really just damage triggers
that are vulnerable to bomb type damage, which includes both bombs and power bombs.
Yeah.
It's also possible that he might dash to each of the slots after this first one.
Yeah, which you can also do without space jump. Yep.
And Thorus is picking up his bombs.
Nice.
A very nice first dash. And then we get to see Flagra swing its sides at him 8 times. And then we'll see another dash, followed by another 8 side swipes. Then he's gonna dash to the left to draw an attack from Flagra, then dash to the right. Oh, unfortunately, he did miss that dash, but he was able to recover pretty nicely.
Yeah, the reason Flagra swipes at you is because the cutscene is confused. It still thinks you're in front of Flagra, so Flagra's swiping at you, and the game doesn't realize that you. I mean, it kind of realizes that you've done the bomb slot, but you didn't do it the intended way, so kind of mixed glitch there.
Yeah, normally what would be happening when between each of the phases of Flagra is it would have been on the ground, so it would stand up and fix the mirrors. However, because the mirrors aren't going down, it doesn't do that, so the AI just continues acting normally, which is technically what it's doing when it's waking up as well. It's just so happens that its normal decision in this case is to swipe at you every time. So I guess it's not necessarily the normal pattern, because the normal pattern changes around a bit, but
just a missile of Flagra, which you can also do backwards, by the way. And it's a lot of fun. It's weird but fun.
yeah, you can blow up all of the... Oh, and he's going for the early wild infinite bomb jump. This is a trick that you'll see in speedruns.
Yeah, but doing Flagra backwards, you can bomb all the slots without... Oh.
Unfortunately, he did mistime his unmore, and he is not gonna go for it again because, well, among other things, it is not in logic. He is remembering to check the other location in Ruin Gallery.
Yeah. Yeah, and about Flagra. Sorry.
Very easy to forget about.
Yeah, what I was just saying about Flagra, backwards, you can bomb all the slots without activating the fight at all. It's just kind of a closed up flower. And then once you're done...
Fight, and he's dead.
Yeah.
Or she. I'm not sure what the official lore side of things is on that.
Missile.
Seeing as it's a plant, it might be both.
So we don't have Varia. What do you think Dante's going? Probably Farchosa. Well, is that a logic?
Yeah, Farchosa should partially be in logic.
I mean,
Actually, is it?
I don't know. They don't have Boost Ball. They don't have Wave. The only thing he can get is the Ice slot item.
Time to open up the preset and see what's actually activated in it.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what... Oh, there's that visor, but Dante's still skipping. Right, he doesn't have Spider. Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual... what's actually in logic. Based on...
Furnace, upper tunnel without Spider Ball. So yes, Farchosa is in logic.
Okay.
So is the Hall of the Elders bomb slots. Tower chamber without gravity suit, and several other things. However, no, climbing the frigate crash site does not appear to be activated under the tricks.
Oh. Oh, I forgot.
Oh yeah, Dante's checking under here because he didn't look here before. And that's Plasma Game.
Okay.
Okay, he is very glad he checked that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Farchosa is the path to go.
Well, he still needs to find Wave for that, right?
No, he does not. He has Ice Beam.
Well, for Beyond Hall of the Elders.
Yes, though he can do an HBJ, which he knows how to do, and it's possible that Wave Beam is in one of the two checks that are available in, off of Hall of the Elders. You know, the Ice Beam slot or the Plasma slot.
Well, if you move the statue, would reloading the room be in logic?
Reloading the room would be in logic, I believe.
Oh. And Dante is performing a trick to get up the spider track without spider. You just push
Walk up.
against. Yeah, you just walk up at a certain angle, and then morph into the hole.
Hey, Mind of Maid, this isn't as bad as Diggle Seeds get by any stretch of the imagination. This is a nice Diggle Seed so far.
So far.
Dante's also most likely going to see what's up here. It appears to be
Looks like
just
a
a
missile.
missile. If you don't have Spider Ball, getting the item at the top is kind of a pain, but
Yeah.
definitely possible, though you do need to know how to do advanced bomb jumps, which relatively few of the people competing in the tournament know how to do.
I've done that once, and I don't want to do it again.
And the difference between being able to do it once and doing it consistently is about 5 hours of practice minimum. And that's on flat ground, not on the small little path you're on at the top.
And Thorus just finally headed towards Zoid. Bombs.
If I had to guess, this item is going... If this item isn't Wave Beam, then the one directly under the statue is going to be Various Suit.
Why variant?
Because not much else would be left to open. And otherwise, and even though I believe reloading the room should work under logic, I feel like it just would be a bit odd still.
What was the item under there? I was looking at Thorus.
Oh, it was just a missile. Alright, let's see. What is it?
Wait.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Let's see if Dante will remember to check Crossway.
Yeah, and that'll be his way of reloading the room.
Yeah. Dante hesitating for a half a second before remembering that, yeah, he does need to reload the room. And then we get to see what's here after Dante does a nice little R jump. That is an artifact. If Thorus doesn't know how to do this series of jumps, then this item requires both... No, it requires... Let's see... Boost Ball, and Super Missiles, and does it require Spider Ball? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 items, which can all be circumvented with Space Jump if you know how to do it. However, the last jump is a bit tricky because you need to be able to get in there like that. You can also just directly morph and land there, kind of, but that's even more picky.
Yeah, doesn't look like Dante's going further.
He probably just isn't certain what the reload distance is. No, he's decided to exit this way instead of continuing on further into Chozo. Not sure why. He might be thinking about the Tower of Light.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Which is in logic now.
It's got
but I'm not sure if I would have.
Wait.
There.
Not Spider. Does the logic account for Spider? if you do it the vanilla way, because it's a spider track and run shrine after the half pipe.
Okay, it's not specified, so I guess no, it wouldn't be in logic, despite the fact that Tower Chamber without gravity
Oh wait,
is in logic.
Findrana Shorelines.
Metroid Quarantine
MQ
is, we are gonna see, and Storage Cave.
Storage Cave.
Not the nicest seed as far as the
Yeah.
artifact locations go, but not terrible.
Yeah.
Dante just might have forgotten that the statue does move back.
Maybe.
Hopefully this does pay off, though, despite it being out of logic.
Or he could be thinking.
Oh!
Frigate.
Frigate is in logic. That is horrible. I hate that. Not sure what Dante's doing here.
Yeah. You can't go back there this way anymore. They removed the vine. Or they put the vine back. So you would need supers to get back to Sun Chamber. Supers expired.
Yeah. No. If he hasn't played a randomizer since that got changed back, he might not be aware of it.
Right.
Because at one point, Bash had removed the vines here, and that allowed you to kind of just go from either direction as you pleased, but yeah. Okay, Dante pausing for a second, probably trying to figure out what his next move.
He seems confused.
Can't blame him for that. Oh no, Dante doesn't know how to get back over correctly.
What is the correct way?
Oh,
Oh, okay, maybe that is.
That's one of the ways, but you can also just kind of get stuck on the top if you're on the right side and then drop 3 bombs, but he was in the direct middle where it doesn't really work.
Well, let's see if Thorus knows to reload the room. Or remembers. If Dante. And yeah, Dante's going for Tower of Light. Out of logic, but worth checking.
Thorus tried to go for a pretty tricky dash right there. Didn't quite make it, but there is a backup. Not Thorus, Dante. Brain. So there's 2 ways you'll see most runners do Tower of Light. The first is to shoot, I believe it's 3 missiles at each of these different pillars to trigger a cutscene and let you see what's at the top. The other is to climb it with a series of dashes like Dante is doing.
Or our jumps.
Yeah, I guess is that method as well, though it's a lot less consistent.
I've found the R jumps more consistent than the dashes, for me personally.
Huh.
I really worth it though.
Though the R jumps are significantly slower than the dashes. Well, significantly is in like 5 to 10 seconds. The cutscene method is the fastest way to do it if there's nothing worth collecting at the top.
Yeah, and the R jumps are an alternative if you're not comfortable with the dashes or not consistent with them.
So the number of people who are more comfortable with R jumps than dashes are actually, well, not all that small anymore now that more people actually understand how R jumps work thanks to Hazel/Fusion Varia. But a while back, R jumps were a very misunderstood piece of movement tech.
Also,
Well, at one point, people thought that you needed to invert your y-axis for them to be possible.
oh, that's actually how
Uh,
I used to do them. And they look
and
really
then
weird.
there was also, like, in Remy's any percent tutorial, he explains them as you have to do it on both jumps, which isn't correct. Which isn't his fault, just people didn't really know how to do them properly back then. Back when they were called rodeo jumps. But the way that they're done properly is you jump with pretty much just an L jump for your first jump. Then on the second jump, you'll press R before you use your space jump. And then you will continue holding. And then what R does is it locks your direction. So you no longer get to move like forward or backwards based on your control stick. But if you then do an L jump with your second jump while still holding R, you will gain additional speed as well as height and distance if done properly. This was not the best way I could have described it, but it's kind of
Yeah, a lot of these tricks are kind of hard to explain.
Yeah. There are some excellent tutorials which go more in depth with the explanations that can be found in, I believe, both the Randomizer Discord and definitely in the speedrunning Discord for anybody who's curious to learn how to do them. And Dante is opting to go for the frigate. It's definitely what logic is wanting them to do. Actually, frigate being in here does make this now a full-fledged Diggle Seed, because nobody likes frigate. Despite it having some of the best music in Metroid Prime, at least in my opinion. Well, yeah, as I said, music is the good part about frigate. The rest of frigate is frigate. Fun fact, it's completely possible to make it all the way through frigate without gravity suit. However, you will not enjoy it.
No. Can you do it both backwards and forward, or just backwards?
Well, I think you can do it both ways, but Hydro Access Tunnel, you need Boost Ball, and you need to use it perfectly in the worst way possible if you do not want to get soft locked.
Yeah, it's very disgusting. And there's also a part when you go backwards where you have to like keep mashing the jump button to get up onto a ledge very slowly, frame by frame. It's kind of weird.
Basically, what we're saying is don't do frigate without gravity suit, because just in addition to all those bad tricks, you are also just going to be moving very, very, very slowly.
Yeah. Did Dante peek what was in Biohazard?
He couldn't.
Not even through the crack?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the crack, but no, he didn't.
Okay.
Didn't look there. I always forget about that crack. But yeah, despite the fact that Dante had a sizable lead earlier, his bits of misrouting have led to Thorus being almost completely caught up, minus the artifact.
I'm not even sure what the correct path is at this point.
Poor Barrier Titan. And that's Boost Ball.
Alright.
Well, okay, well, definitely Gravityless Frigate wasn't possible this seed, because that's where you get soft locked, and there's no way to make it back from there, even with Boost Ball, if you don't have gravity.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe this was the right way to go.
Gunner's right, Life Grove is open, though still not in logic without Spider Ball.
Yeah, you can check Great Tree Chamber.
Dante is going to show off the best trick in the game right now. Bar skip skip. No, sorry, reverse bar skip skip.
Yeah. Well, that's the only bar skip skip. Oh.
That's sounds too.
Okay. Are we in go mode?
Based on the artifacts, I guess
Whoa.
Aerialist is possible.
Although we might still technically need Spider for MQA.
Yeah.
Logically.
Well, no, you definitely need it logically, but Dante going for a bomb jump to try to avoid the undisputed worst room in the game, also known as Life Grove Tunnel. Luckily, Life Grove Tunnel wasn't as evil as it normally is. Everybody congratulate Dante on having won the lottery. Rather unusual that only one of our runners has looked at hints so far, 48 minutes in.
What was that?
It is somewhat unusual that only one of our runners has looked at hints 48 minutes in. Here is another use of an R jump. It's possible to do this with an L jump, but it's terrible. Don't do it. Dante still not getting Life Grove tunneled. And Thorus pulling off yet another amazing bar skip.
And now we're headed to the bathroom shows you. I think it's open. I think we have 2 checks now. There's Vanilla Ice and Overgrown Cavern. And we can go in the mines. Yeah. I actually got that elevator mixed up with the back elevator. I didn't think of that.
Dante's third tank. Yeah, I'm somewhat surprised as well, Gunner, but Maybe Dante realized he hadn't checked either of these two locations and thought it would be worthwhile. Thorus, on the other hand, is going to be heading down to the mines. The rare front of mines check. Or front of mines first. Dante missing the door, but there is an easy instant unmorph, just a missile. So
he's headed to mines.
It appears he's going to be headed to mines now, which is good. Because even with gravity and Phazon suit, a 3-suit Variolous Magmor can be a bit sketchy. Thorus making good use of his plasma beam to get rid of the super turrets.
And apparently might be getting ready to make use of a slope jump to get the main quarry item, not spider.
Or at least
check it.
Climb up to see what's there.
Yeah.
For some reason, activating the panel to move the crane always takes 2 wave shots, with the first one bouncing off. I don't think I've ever managed to get it to happen first shot.
Really? I've always gotten it with one. The one that always takes me 2 wave shots for is the second set of the third set of conduits, and the one on the left always takes me 2 shots for some reason.
You hear it here, folks. Op is a witch. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course.
No. Dante's headed in the mines. Just the missile and security access A. We can also check storage depot A. See if Thorus knows the shoot through the crack method. Or through the...
I believe was discovered early last tournament. Well, actually, it wasn't discovered then. It was shown to everybody because everybody's tried shooting through the force field, but nobody thought to shoot through the bars at the side until some guy showed up and was like, I noticed nobody was doing this, and everyone
like,
realized that we're idiots.
It looks like Thorus doesn't know about it.
Yeah. Which can't blame him for, seeing as far as we know, only one person in the community knew about it before the last year's tournament.
Yeah, I tried shooting through the blue force field, the gaps in that, and then because I couldn't do that, I assumed that I couldn't do it any other way.
Yeah.
So I didn't know
But most people did. Both runners in pretty much the exact same spot. Just still Dante slightly in the lead with that additional E-tank and artifact. This is hinting towards being a better part of 2-hour or longer seed. Just with the fact that, or at least, it might not be quite that long for Dante, but for most players, probably around that length. Seems like Dante as well might have forgotten about being able to shoot through those gaps. excuse my occasional stuttering. I just hesitate when I'm trying to say stuff sometimes.
It's all good. Yeah, shooting the door through the crack saves you having to go all the way back. I think Thorus did, but I forgot what was in there.
It's an incredibly useful trick to know about if you don't have a lot of power bombs, because power bombs are the worst thing in this game.
Yeah, the drop rate is, I think, room dependent.
Well, every room has its own drop table, and then in most rooms, even if they have power bombs in their drop table, they are a low rate item, except for a few rooms with guaranteed drops for certain enemies. Just a missile.
Basically, we're just going through early mines, making all the routine checks. They still don't have spiders, so I'm still not sure if much of this is in logic.
Well, no, going this direction is largely in logic, I believe.
Well, at least until they get to
Or processing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be kind of surprised if Thorus knows how to do spiderless shafts, as I'm pretty sure he isn't an 8% runner. I do know Dante does know how to, though.
What you're seeing right now is an AI manipulation where this enemy turns to face you before it attacks you. So if you stay out of its line of sight, keep rapid firing missiles, you can kill it that way faster than waiting through the long invincibility period.
Yeah. And that is an AI manipulation that works on all kinds of elite style pirates, including the Phazon Elite we just saw here, the Elite Pirates, and the Omega Pirate as well, where they just need to do like a little animation when they first see you before actually starting their attack patterns, which involve multiple invincibility phases.
Gosh. Nice climb.
Nice way to climb from Dante. Got him directly up to the spinner instead of having to cross the room again after getting to the top. But yeah, our runners are just holding hands right now. And there's our spider ball.
Okay. That's perfectly in logic. Although we won't need to go that far into mines. Well, at least artifact-wise. Well, yeah, we already have Phazon, so we can leave mines after we get in QA. Because I don't think any other ones were...
Something we've been seeing throughout the second half of this seed is a bit of a phenomenon that I've noticed where in some situations the less experienced runner might be more likely to route. It's better if the logic is relatively strict, like in this seed. And the more experienced runner who knows a lot of tricks might confuse themselves by getting items out of logic, but then not really being able to progress because the most important progression is just effectively hard required by how the logic works, which fits much better, at least on this difficulty, with how a less experienced runner is likely to route through stuff. Dante doing a pretty nice job of climbing or processing. Power Pirates are being a little bit annoying as he tries to check the item in the grapple room, that
Why
pirate
he just
went and
flied
played
over
some
like
ping
that?
pong.
Why does that happen? When it just like flies around randomly like that?
Because Prime.
Ah. Personally, for me, that top jump is the hardest to make.
It's the most inconsistent one for most people. Though it can be more consistent if you just R jump on it. Or at it.
I always overshoot it when I do that. Yeah, if you're bad with that jump, it's good to have power bombs or grapple over here.
Yeah, as then you can either do the room pretty much the intended way, or just jump off of the top of the little box that Thorus is currently interacting with to be able to get to the top. Thank you, East. The seed might not be completely hot garbage, but it did have required frigate, which makes it barely a Diggle seed. We need to see Diggle seed become a term throughout the whole randomizer community, not just a Metroid Prime community. There was another 3-hour seed today.
Was it the one that was at noon? Yeah, that was the first one today. Wow.
Ouch. So the first broadcasted race of the tournament was a 3-hour seed, roughly, and then another one during this day. Yeah, before and during this race. Dante, unfortunately, not quite getting the climb up to the top of the room. It can be a bit tricky, and it's easy to get out of practice at it, as it's not a trick that's regularly used outside of randomizers or in 21%, but in 21% it's done differently. And now it's not done at all with a new route that was labbed out moderately recently. Well, the Dark Pact was a man that goes by Digglewrath had to go and press a button labeled generate seed, and then a seed was created. Gotta believe this guy's Diggle's only mostly evil.
Did Dante get MQA and I just forgot?
Nope.
Wonder if he forgot. Maybe he's looking for X-ray. Although, I would imagine he wouldn't know how to do it without it. Do you know if he does?
He knows how to do what?
MQA without X-ray.
Who? Thorus or Dante?
Dante.
Dante definitely does.
So he might have just forgot.
Or he just decided to route this direction. It can be hard to tell.
And you're likely going to see him skip this long spider track to get up to the door up top. One of two ways. He could either R jump off of that little thing right there above him, or he's going to do it this way using standable terrain, slope jumps.
Yeah, doing it this way is definitely easier, but not quite as fast. Yeah, the matches should end up on YouTube eventually, just it might take until close, it'll just depend on how long it takes. It's not the most consistent thing.
Yeah, sometimes it can take weeks, sometimes a month or two. Orphan drama, I forgot about that. And I don't think we've been there at all yet, this match.
Yep, our first trip into Fendrana.
Yeah, Dante doing some standable terrain to skip that spider track, even though he has spider.
Yeah, because it's just very easy to pull off.
Yeah.
Can't see quite what's inside that pool. Though, seeing as Dante's going this direction, might have been something I was grabbing.
Didn't look like a missile blow.
Still can't tell what it is. Is that a suit?
Suit or uprising. Those are the hardest to see. Oh,
No,
supers.
it's a super missile.
Okay. Not sure if those are required yet. They're nice to have. I haven't seen this method very often. The usual one I see him do is the jumping across to the branch and then back. Courtyard, short lines, QA, storage queue. He's right near storage cave. Yeah, this is the way I usually see it done. Never thought to dash over it. And we have a French vanilla artifact. Not sure if that's the actual vanilla one. Confident. Oh wait, I'm dumb. He has more than 3. It's just not at full health.
Has
Wow,
Thorus
Thor.
still not looked at his artifact chunks?
I don't think so.
That's not good for him.
I mean, if he has, then he could have, since he's going the right way towards one. Although if he continues, maybe not. Oh, it's a terrible base. But anyways. Thorus seems a little confused. Maybe pen check his hits. Looks like he's turning back. No, probably not. This could be a problem. How long it'll take before they go back? I don't know. I forgot where the other artifacts are. So some of them could be in labs. Shorelines. Yeah, there is one in Shorelines. I think I remember that. Although fighting Thorus would have been faster to get there. But I forget if there's one in labs. Gunnar, are you talking about Thorus or Dante? So it looks like they're both kind of in go mode. Dante. Yeah, you might not realize it.
It can be easy to forget.
Yeah, I actually forgot last night during one of my runs. I was looking around for X-ray when I already had it. I was like, when did I get X-ray? Yeah, I'm not sure what Dante's thought process is, what to ask.
It's possible he's mixing up the names of some rooms.
Possible.
I need to step away for a couple minutes. Be right back.
No problem. So, looks like Thorus is probably headed out of mines for now, since he hasn't checked his hints and doesn't appear to know that MQA has an artifact. And yeah, we've found nothing in labs, so I'm not sure why Dante didn't just fight Thorus, but we'll ask. Yeah, that's correct, East. For go mode, you need phase on in the beams, unless you do exoskip. Yeah, but I wonder what he still thinks he needs for go mode. At least based on where the artifacts are. Get another check here. Training chamber. Get in QA. Training chamber, what is that? I forgot which room that was. Does that require anything that we don't have yet? Because I know NQA is fully in logic. Well, maybe not without X-ray. I don't know. Could still be looking for X-ray. Although, White would, given his skill level. Yeah, yes, Spider. I don't think Varia is required. We'll see. Unless he just wants some more damage reduction, maybe. although he has 5 V-tanks. Depending on what grapple and X-ray are, variant might be required. Yeah, but are grapple and X-ray required? I'm not sure. No, he's wearing a fusion suit. He has gravity and phazon. It just kind of looks different. It's more sleek and a little on the oranger side with phazon suit, so kind of looks like a power suit a little bit. I know X-ray is logically required, but technically not required. You can shoot the invisible platforms to find out where they are and still land on them. Yeah, I'm pretty confused to the beast. X-ray needed for core? What's core? You mean phazon core? I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, that's right, Mob. Omega Pirate is the only hard requirement because you can't damage it without it. Oh, Essence. No, you don't need any visors for Essence. You can still shoot at it even though it's invisible. And you can keep track of where it is with Scan Visor. But it's longer and more annoying.
I've returned. It appears we are fighting a Tantrum Rock.
Yes, we're still confused by the choices, though. Like, they're both seem to be in go mode, but I don't know what else they're looking for.
Maybe they're both trying to find X-ray, and it turns out it was actually ice spreader in the fountain.
I don't think they checked the fountain again, but yeah, I mean, Dante looks like he might be headed back towards MQA, but yeah, I don't know why they both put it off for so long. Excuse me. Let me see. The remaining artifacts are MQA, Metroid Quarantine A, and what was the other one? Training Chamber. Yeah. And for some reason, I'm blanking on which room Training Chamber is. That's yeah, that's in Chozo. One that you would need. It's across Magma Pool, and I guess maybe they're looking for grapple, but they both have gravity, and I'm pretty sure Dante knows that he doesn't need grapple for that. Otherwise, that would be in logic. Oh, I just realized there's no artifacts marked for Thorus, so maybe that's what he's looking for.
He might have forgotten that hints are a thing.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Oh, yeah, maybe magnet.
I've come to the decision that everybody involved, especially the runners, are confused at what's happened.
Looks like Thorus doesn't know about the arch up to skip this ghost fight. So we're going to be seeing a rare vanilla ghost fight up here.
Yeah, we have it set where only barrier removes heat damages, but with this many E-tanks that really shouldn't be an issue. Especially seeing as like other ones do reduce the damage from heat. Just
Yeah, by 20% right now.
like at least it makes sense that Dante would be heading to MQA right now.
Well, he is now, so
Yeah.
that's good.
A lot of the other decisions, maybe not so much, but eh.
Yeah, maybe once they explain it to us, it'll make perfect sense. We're not mind
Yeah.
readers, so we're missing something. Oh, that maze wasn't bad. So I think it was short. I was only half paying attention.
Yeah, it is just an option, but you know, it's nice to have barrier have some meaning.
Yeah, besides text removal. Nice dash.
Yeah, it is looking that way.
And he's heading back, so I think he does.
Having training chamber be required is also kind of cursed.
Yeah, can be easy to forget, or just a hassle to get back there when logic doesn't allow you to get there early.
Dante doing a pretty good job of avoiding the firing squad killing him.
Not sure how people are able to stay out of that pirate's line of sight. I mean, I've done that too, but it's like, I don't know, just slightly missing, or you're slightly out of it. Even though it looks like he's facing you directly.
Yeah, it's a bit finicky.
Meanwhile, Thor's still fighting the ghosts up here. They're dead. Well, they already were dead, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Thor's is probably headed back to mines.
Dante not opting to show off Spiderless Shaft. One.
And Thor's getting life growth tunnel. Classic.
Dante going for the L jump method this time. Made it work. Not entirely sure. Yeah, Ish is probably right. About just being mostly muscle memory.
Yeah, that would make sense. Forgot how powerful muscle memory can be.
Especially hundreds of hours of muscle memory.
Yeah. Looks like they're both headed towards training chamber. Or at least Dante is. Well, no, I shouldn't be talking for Thorus because he hasn't checked his ins yet, so he doesn't know. Oh, there's Crossway. Forgot about that.
Is he trying to remember how to do crossway?
Probably. He doesn't have supers though.
Huh. Yeah, that is really rough.
Yeah, I'm guessing Thorus is new. They don't seem to know that many tricks.
You seem to know an okay amount of how some of the movement tech works, but definitely seem to be a bit greener.
Yeah.
So I like how they are high-fiving again. Again.
Okay, Dante's saving. Going for the dash. Without varying. Or maybe just the gravity method of jumping into the lava and using a small pillar under the water to gain enough height to jump out to the other side.
So I'm pretty sure Dante's confident enough with his dashes, despite being seemingly a bit out of practice. That
Oh no, he's not. Okay.
is he going for the wall crawl?
Don't know.
Why would he go for the wall crawl?
I don't even know what the wall crawl for that is, because I don't do wall crawls.
He's going for the wall crawl. Why? Why would you do this, Dante? You have everything you need to be able to get it without doing this.
Could be muscle memory.
But I don't think Dante does 100% normally.
I don't know if Dante knows that.
And then why is he doing this way?
He knows, he may have just forgotten.
No, I mean, why is he setting up the wall crawl? Better ways to do it. Yeah, it is a tricky wall crawl. Like, I know how you go about getting to it, but like, even then, it's not one that really would go for it situation.
Yeah, if he had used the
And now he's
gravity
going for a
method, he
DCR
would.
jump.
Sorry.
And now he tried to go for a DCR jump, didn't get it.
Yeah, if he had done it the other way, he would have probably would have gotten it by now.
Well, maybe not gotten it, but he'd be doing the fight. But he has supers, so the fight's not pain.
Yeah. It's a pretty nice looking wall crawl though.
Yeah, it's a fun looking wall crawl, but
Well, I don't know about fun looking, but it's aesthetically nice looking.
well, yeah, that's what I mean.
For someone like me, it looks really annoying to try to do. More fun to watch than try. There we go. And I believe that's go mode. Can fight Ridley.
I guess east?
Yeah, maybe not. Well, he's going back through there. No, he's
Why is he being so safe with this? He has so many E-tanks. He knows the dash the other way. I'm so confused.
Me too.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
This will require explanation after the race.
It's a very time-consuming way to show off.
Yeah, because with how long it took him to get the wall crawl, it definitely would have been faster to just do Magma Pull Dash. Maybe he forgot about Magma Pull Dash, started the wall crawl, and then remembered it when he was leaving.
Or maybe he finds the dash back easier than
Or
forward.
safer.
I don't know.
I mean, it's technically safer. Well, at least as long as he comes in from the, for the interview, we will know.
Still in the lead too, so you know, it all worked out. Meanwhile, Thorus is checking Flabra, which I believe
Not getting
had a
shit
missile,
dash. Yeah.
and we never saw what Ghosts had.
The no dash method of crossing Magma Pool is bad content.
What, the gravity method or the
No.
sustainable terrain?
The sustainable terrain one.
Yeah, that one. I remember you practicing that one, and that looked. Was that die?
No, it
I don't
said
know.
DF.
Oh, DF. Yeah, I saw you practicing the sustainable terrain, and it was.
Well, remember, you asked me to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. And I still haven't gotten around to practicing. I will though.
Did I ever actually get that video out?
I don't know. I know Meg showed me his. Because well, I saw that. I discovered that from Mix last time.
And then I figured out a slightly more consistent way to get it using a bunny hop. Dante not getting the dash, or not the dash, the boost.
Yeah, he's going for the alternative.
You got it.
Didn't seem to. Did he get it? Yeah.
Well, no, he didn't
he
get
did.
the mid-air one, but he got the...
Really doing those sneak dashes. Really annoying.
Another dash. Bad RNG for Dante. What the heck? Question is, will he go for Exoskip? Because he knows how to do it.
Consistently?
I never said anything consistently. I said he knows how to do it.
Yeah, if he knows how to do it, but it's inconsistent, then it wouldn't be worth it, in my opinion. Well, I have seen it done, and it's pretty cool.
Definitely pretty cool.
Yeah, Warden, that's a good point. Uh, if the logic was good, then the RNG would be bad.
Looks like my time estimate that I made was accurate.
145 to 2 hours.
Yeah. Even though it really shouldn't have been. Looks like he's going for it. Yeah, maybe he is just showing off.
Well, if he can, might as well. He's got time.
Maybe he's been practicing it or something.
Yeah. I can understand having practiced something for a while. Finally getting to do it.
The Metroid doesn't want him, though. Couple nice repositions here.
Is he trying to clip underneath?
Well, the Metroid, he's trying to get the Metroid to clip him out. Doesn't want to work, so he's probably gonna adjust it. No, that's too low. It's awful too low.
Just the missile at Sun Chamber Ghosts.
It's definitely been an odd race.
Yeah.
Takes time to find the corner so we can do some ether jumps.
You're kind of low.
I am? How about now? Still?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah, I think I was just facing away from the microphone a bit for a second.
Last time I saw this was in me during the 80% tournament.
Still going on, just most of the races lately have been forfeited because everyone's schedules have been kind of messed up by the state of the world, unfortunately. No.
He's entering subchamber 2. It's 4 total. And then essence underneath that.
Between 2 rooms, let's see. Kind of like if he's able to get out of that. Okay, cool. I don't know, understandable spots.
Gunnar says if Dante triggers one of the sub-chambers out of order, it's a soft lock. Did Dante...
Should be fine now.
Did Dante save?
No, he did not.
No.
But that's pretty much only a threat for the first subchamber, as far as I'm aware. Getting past that, then afterwards, just how quickly can you make it to the end? But yeah, in theory, with Exo Skip, you don't need Wave or Ice Beam.
Do you need Plasma? Well, yeah.
Yes, because you need it to get through. Sorry, and yep, he made it to Essence.
Nice.
I believe he's going to go for the 3 pool, which involves doing the first 2 pulls with what's known as attack cancels, because Essence only lays a pull after a certain number of attacks, but if you time your shots properly, you can interrupt the animations after that counter increment. However, it's a lot harder if you do not have if you're missing any visors.
Yeah, he's missing X-ray. So he's gonna have to use the scan visor to find it.
Yeah, so more likely we're gonna get like at least 5 pulls probably.
Good job tracking him.
Yeah, got some damage, which isn't bad for a visorless phase. Pull number 2. Oh, he's going for pull cancels.
Probably because he's missing a visor.
Yeah, so he's just trying. And pull cancels, how they work is if you walk in and out of the pool while shooting, it won't use any of the pool's phase on, which allows you to just do as much damage as possible before the timer on the pool runs out. And that allows you to do much more damage than the game intends you to do.
Yeah.
But it does result in relatively few attack cancels being possible at the same time. Aim as you're just kind of shooting as quickly as possible.
Yeah, looks like he's got one more cycle left.
Yeah.
Oh, Thorus found X-ray. Where was it? I wasn't looking. Somewhere in Chozo? Could have been the plasma slot.
Okay, well, if
No.
Dante's lucky, he can finish off Essence by just dumping the entire pool into it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, not happening. He nicked Essence a couple times, but it's just very difficult to get all that much damage off
One more.
without having the right visor to see it, because the shots aren't going to be centered on it nearly as much. Dante has finished in the SRL. Spoilers, I guess, but as soon as he finishes on screen, if somebody could mark him done, because I'm currently still not able to.
Gollum Strike. Get your GGs in chat for Dante. You should be getting them here for the interview shortly.
Right, mark. Okay, yeah, he has been marked winner, so he should be in here pretty soon. And then we can ask him our burning questions. He is in the setup channel. Hey, Dante.
Hello.
So, we have questions.
Okay.
So, it seemed like you were in go mode for a pretty long time before you actually went and collected your last few artifacts.
I was mostly looking for various suit.
Okay. For any particular reason?
Because I knew there was the training chamber artifact, and I didn't want to have the VMR.
Yeah, but
I ended up doing it anyway, but...
Yeah, that's why we were confused. It would have been quicker to VMR, especially if you had since you had gravity, you could have just jumped in the lava and used the little pillar underwater to make it over. But yeah, we were also wondering why you didn't go to MQA the first time you were there.
Because I knew I was going to have to go back through mines again in order to not have to go through Magmore to get back to Chozo. So I just figured
really
best to do it on the way back.
Alright, so you're just trying to avoid any sort of VMR stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And Thorus has forfeited. Should be getting and then for an interview.
I think that was also the first exo skip of the tournament so far.
Yeah, that was pretty nice exo skip.
I got the BSJ off of the secret world for the first time there, and kind of scared me because I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah. Then you ended up falling a little bit anyway, but not nearly as bad as you could have. You weren't at the very bottom of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Any parts of the seed that stood out to you, here, Dante?
I mean, I don't like not finding various suit, but it's whatever.
And hello, Thorus. You're Thorus? We can't hear you if you're there.
And They disconnected.
Might be having some tech issues. At least we'll get to see where Varia was in the credits.
Dante said that he was just trying to avoid VMR at all.
Oh, no audio for Thorus. So, do you want to do your interview here in Discord through text? We'll just read.
You were close for a decent bit throughout the race, Thorus, but then you didn't seem to ever get around to checking your artifact tents, and that put you really far behind.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, you can check them in your pause menu. Well, you probably know. It also seemed like there were certain tricks that you didn't know, so I was wondering if you were new to this game or new to this Rando. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm just curious. Oh, gravity chamber, ew.
Probably a Biggle Seed then.
Yeah, definitely. Excuse me. Yeah, we're just communicating with Thorus via text and Discord. Hello?
If Thorus is able to hear us or not, because they say they don't have audio, but I don't know if that's both microphone and being able to hear or not.
Yeah.
Still, as far as Jiggle Seeds go, this could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been over 3 hours, like the first one.
Oh, that happened to Mop, right?
Elias and Remy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there's a hint system in the game. Yeah, in Artifact Temple, when you scan your hints, you can check them in your pause menu later, and it'll tell you exactly where they are by the room name. Can't remember if you.
Well, that would explain why you didn't check the hints if you didn't know they were there.
I can't remember if you scanned the full hints and read them that way, but doesn't that only tell? Yeah, it tells you where the artifacts are. It tells you the room name. And yes, Rando changes the text to be a lot more specific.
It'll literally tell you just what room it's in.
Yeah, literally just the room name in Rando. They're kind of vague in the vanilla game.
But I'll give you the exact room name. In rooms with multiple items, it won't give you the exact location in the room, but well, it'll definitely be helpful in future runs.
Yeah, and with this game, you learn something new every day. And, like, I've been playing this for 3 years, and it's like I'm still learning new stuff. So you're not alone. It's a lot of nice tricks to learn that could speed up your learn. The weakest Link 64. He made a tutorial last year's tournament on, like, it was a general movement trick guide for Rando. So I'd recommend watching that. I don't have the link on me right now, but it's somewhere in the
Sources channel in the Randomizer.
Yeah, that should be very helpful for new runners.
There. Any final thoughts from our runners on the suit overall?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
And any final thoughts from you, Thorus? If you can hear us.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, there you are.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I did a Windows update like on the week, like prior weekend, and ever since then my audio is complete. Well, all my sound settings are gone.
Oh, yeah, Windows updates are jerks. I've been a victim of them
Resetting
myself.
all of your settings.
Yeah, it does that for some reason. Sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't realize the pillars in the artifact temple gave you hints other than here's where the artifacts are.
Yeah, it was a patch made for the Rando.
Still only gives you the locations of the artifacts, but it's the updated locations for where they're placed for the randomizer, not the original locations.
Right. Right, so with each seed, it'll tell you exactly where they are. Well, exactly which room they're in, but not exactly where they are if there's more than one item in that room.
But yeah, that should definitely be helpful for your future races.
Yeah, for sure. Any final thoughts on the seed?
Actually, I think it was not a bad seed, to be honest. Wherever Vader ends up being, I'm guessing it's in Findrana.
It's in Gravity Chamber.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Well, if that's our final thoughts from our runners, make sure to follow them. Like, props to them for both competing. This was a really fun race to watch, even if it got confusing a couple times.
Yeah.
Also follow our, well, I guess it was originally Trackers, but Tracker Gollop was originally tracking, but he volunteered last minute to join me on commentary. Thanks to him for that.
No problem.
Uh,
And follow
does
Caesar.
a lot of both Metroid Prime and Echoes randomizers if you want to watch him there on his channel.
So does Caesar, so follow him too.
And Gollop occasionally participates in different
Yeah.
Echoes races and multi-worlds.
Yeah, does a lot of echoes. He's even developing the portal and door rando for echoes. So looking forward to that.
Let's see, when are the next races today?
Next one is at 5 p.m. Eastern. Uncle Reggie versus Lane 1. And then there's Inner Slice versus you at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Robo Scout versus Arrow Razor at 9.
So every 2 hours, effectively.
Yeah.
Make sure to catch those if you are at all interested.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for coming to watch this race today, and we will catch you next mission.
Yep, see you next mission.